Good morning. This is Dr. McDaniel at GYN Corner. I'm a board certified obstetrician gynecologist in Midtown Manhattan, and I'm bringing to you all things health related for women. Coming from a different location today, Saturday mornings I usually come from the horse farm in New Jersey, and today this for the long weekend. This is the Columbus Day weekend. For the long weekend, I'm coming from Florida. I'm visiting my brother and my mother down in Sarasota, Florida. So I'm at the beach this morning, Siesta Beach in Sarasota. It's awesome because it's still relatively early, so it's not busy, it's not crowded, it's just a small number of people. When I'm on vacation, I usually like to go to the beach pretty early, like 6 o'clock, 6:30. But I got out here late this morning. Got here a little after 8, about 8:15 or so. And I'm only going to be here for a little bit today. But it's a lovely day in Florida. When I retire, I'm moving to Florida. I love Florida. It's awesome. Weather's great. Gorgeous beaches. It's perfect. So lucky. Kudos to all you Floridians. So as I stated on the title today, I'm speaking about aphthous ulcers. Now, an ulcer is a sore, a wound. It's an opening in the skin that can be superficial or it can be deep. If it's superficial, it's usually just the top skin layer, the epithelial lining, and a little bit into the subepithelial lining. So it's maybe like an eighth of an inch deep, or like 2 millimeters deep if it's superficial. So it's just a tiny depression in the skin, and it's a wound. If it's a deep ulceration, it's like maybe a quarter of an inch. It's pretty deep. You can kind of stick your finger down in it, so it's a deep. But an aphthous ulcer is a superficial ulceration that's usually quite large. It's usually around the size of maybe a half a sesame seed. No, not sesame seed. The size of a half sunflower seed to even the size of a sunflower seed or worse. Or they look like little lakes where they're kind of all pooling and channeling together and draining together. So an aphthous ulcer is a superficial ulcer that can be relatively small, half the size of a sunflower seed, or larger. And medically they're called aphthous ulcers. Colloquially, or what people usually say, is they call them canker sores. Most people are familiar with canker sores in the mouth, on the lining of the lips, or the gums, or even on the side of the tongues, canker sores. But you can get them anywhere in that similar lining. So from the lips all the way down through the throat, intestines, anus, and the vaginal tissues, because those are all the same type of tissues. We call them mucous membranes. So an aphthous ulcer is a canker sore or a superficial ulceration, and when it comes to GYN, we're talking about the cervix, vaginal lining, and the inner lips, or the thin lips, the labia minora. You can also see them on the inside of the outer lips, the labia majora, but you won't see canker sores or aphthous ulcers on the outer skin, the labia majora, regular skin, the cutaneous skin, the outer skin of the fat lips, the external lips, because that's different tissue. It's not mucous membranes, it's regular cutaneous skin, so you won't see aphthous ulcers there. Aphthous ulcers are usually painless unless something irritates them. So you won't know you have an aphthous ulcer unless you get some kind of acidic food, or urine hits it, or a lotion, a body wash, something that could be an irritant hits that open wound. And when it hits that wound, it's going to burn, it's going to sting, it's going to be painful. Adjusting my camera here. So aphthous ulcers can occur anywhere on that general lining. They're fairly large. They can be quite extensive. So they can be just a small spot, or they can be just like your hand covering the whole vulvar genital area, where all of those mucous membranes have just lakes and channels and connected bridges of ulceration. Now, medically or scientifically, we don't actually know why some women or people will get aphthous ulcers and others won't. They do think there tends to be a genetic component, because people in the same family tend to have aphthous ulcers, whereas people from different families tend not to have canker sores or aphthous ulcers. It's thought predominantly to be an autoimmune scenario, so your body fighting itself, and predominantly during times of stress. So your immune system is weakened and your body starts to fight its own tissues, so you get ulcerations. Others think that they can potentially come about when there's any kind of trauma. So someone bites their lip or bites their inner cheek or gets hit, or really acidic foods, juices or tomato juices. Those are all different theories. I think it's predominantly immunologic, because when people are stressed out, good stress, bad stress, so I always say weddings or funerals, doesn't matter, any kind of stressful activity, so moving, new job, starting school, graduating from school, the usual big life changes, or small life changes, have a really hectic schedule for a week, any kind of stressor. That's when I tend to see people with aphthous ulcers or canker sores, and I've had them myself, on the mouth though, not vulvar, and they do sometimes seem to pop up out of nowhere. I don't really feel stress, and other times it's going to be from when I'm really busy doing a lot. And two of my kids get aphthous ulcers or canker sores in their mouth also, so our family tends to get them. I've seen extensive aphthous ulcers on patients, running from just a dot here or there to just 50% of the vulvar vaginal tissues covered with aphthous ulcers. I just had a patient 3 days ago Wednesday, who came in with a combination of ulcerations that looked like aphthous ulcers and ulcerations that looked like herpetic ulcers, so herpes. So she had both, and we do know that herpes is what we call an opportunistic infection. So if your immune system is compromised, you have the herpes virus infection, you will get herpetic ulcerations, and she had both. The treatment for aphthous ulcers is predominantly what I call tincture of time. So if you just give it time, they will usually go away. Aphthous ulcers of the mouth vary from aphthous ulcers of the genitalia, in that the oral aphthous ulcers tend to go away pretty quickly. They tend to go away within 1 to 3 weeks, whereas ulcers of the genitalia tend to take much longer, so 3 to 6 weeks. I've even seen 2.5 to 3 months without any kind of help. Now, predominantly, because it's predominantly immunologic, or it's autoimmune, your body fighting itself, the best way to treat it is going to be to support the immune system. So I always recommend that people take an amino acid called L-lysine, L-Y-S-I-N-E, L-lysine. If you take lysine, that's an amino acid that helps to support the immune system, and it works really well to help heal aphthous ulcers. Take 500 milligrams in the morning and 500 milligrams in the evening every day until about 1 to 2 weeks after the ulcers have resolved or disappeared. Another thing people do is they take buttermilk to help soothe and help to heal them, keep the skin clean and dry. Dab some buttermilk on a cotton ball. Dab that on the ulcerations. That seems to soothe and help to heal them quickly. And then obviously no offending or irritant agent. So if it's on your mouth, obviously no orange juice or grapefruit juice, or tomato juice, kind of bland foods. And obviously you keep the food or the drink away from where the aphthous ulcer is located. If it's vulvar, no sexual activity that could rub or irritate it. No soaps, gels, lotions that could potentially irritate. Just wash with regular soap and a mild or gentle baby shampoo or baby soap that's hypoallergenic and low irritant. The no tears type of baby soaps keep the area airy, cool, dry, loose fitting clothing so the skin stays as cool and dry as much as possible. And as I already stated, a little buttermilk soaked cotton ball to dab on the area will help to soothe it, maybe before you go to bed, in the morning. And you could keep a sandwich bag with the soaked cotton balls of buttermilk in the sandwich bag, and anytime you use the restroom, just dab in that area to help keep it as neutral of an environment, pH-wise, of an environment as possible. So I hope that's been helpful information on aphthous ulcers. This is Dr. McDaniel at GYN Corner. I'm at Siesta Beach. I'll give a little tour around again. I'm at Siesta Beach in Sarasota, Florida. And if please hit that follow button, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button to let me know what presentations you're enjoying. If you'd like more information on different topics, let me know. I'll be more than happy to accommodate you. Please give suggestions for topics for the GYN Corner. Give suggestions on things you'd like to hear about, or if you have questions, please let me know if you have questions. I'm more than happy to answer any questions people have. And check out the YouTube channel. It's also called GYN Corner. Hit the like and follow me on YouTube, please. You get a heads up on information when I'm doing the presentations and the times and the topics. And then please, if you like listening to the radio, or if you're working at your desk or driving, check out the podcast. Guess what? The podcasts are also called GYN Corner. And we're on 8 different platforms. We're on Google Podcast, Podcast Addict, Apple iTunes, Anchor, Spotify, the usual haunts. And everybody have a great rest of your Saturday. I'll be back at the next presentation from New Jersey or New York, depending on whether I'm at home or at work. Enjoy your long holiday weekend. Thanks for watching. I'll sign off with Siesta Beach. Bye.